Alright, this is a video for those of you having problems with your shifter button on your shift knob in your Nissan Xterra. Can't get it to go in so that you can get it out of park. You gotta keep fooling with it, and eventually, there we go, eventually you can get it out. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna take this bottom piece up and see what's going on underneath. Now, I'm one-handed at the moment, but all you got to do is find you somewhere to pry up. I pried up right here, but the sides work well too. Find you somewhere to pry up, and this whole thing will just pop out. Now you're going to have to, before you do that, you're going to have to get this thing out of park so that you can bring your shifter back so that you can work this around the shifter. Okay. You can see here, watch this rod go up and down. That's what locks it in place. See, it's not going all the way down. There it goes. Now, see where it locks in at? Problem is, not on this side. It's on the other side. Okay. See these plastic pieces here? Right here. That's what it's going into. Watch it. When we go back. Okay, that's in park, but I still have my hand on the button. Now I'm going to let go. See, it comes up. But now, it don't want to let it go. So, this plastic is our problem right here. So what we need to do is lubricate this. Alright, so I sprayed lube all over all of these parts, and I sat here working the action for a long time, and it's not doing much better. So now I'm going to take the shifter out. Alright, so then you take the 4 bolts out, one here, one right over here on this side of the shifter right there, and then one right up here on the top right there. Side. You got to take the shifter off of here, which all this does is slide on and off of here, and it's got a pin that goes through that hole, and you just pull that out, and then you pull this cable off. Take those bolts out. Alright, then you've got to disconnect this cable from here. So you got to get it to where this is down like this, and you can pull it from straight out from here. Okay, so you get rid of that, and then down here you have an electrical connector. You take that electrical connector off, and then you can take the whole assembly out. Okay, I want to show you all what happens, what the problem is. So you can see I'm pushing the button right now. Okay, and let me give you a close-up of what's happening when I push the button. Okay, this is the rod connected to the shifter, and these are supposed to open to allow this to go down so it can go back. All right, see what's happening? It's hitting the top of this bottom one. here. Okay, it's hitting the top of that. Now this solenoid right here, see that push rod? This solenoid right here is supposed to be pushing that rod out far enough that this comes back and gets out of the way, and it's not doing that. So this solenoid is bad. Now I'll show you me moving that myself to show you that that's how it works. Okay, so this is the one right here. So if you move that and get it out of the way, see this rod right here should push. See that? See how it kicked down when I had that out of the way? Let's do it again. All right. See, it won't go, won't go, won't go. It keeps hitting that top of that back piece. But if you kick this out of the way like it's supposed to be, then when you hit the button, it'll click down, and then you can go back into your gears. So this right here, this solenoid is your problem. All you'll have to do to replace it is to take this ring off of it. Okay, if you have something like this, anything like this, door panel clip remover, anything like that, that's the best thing to use for something like this, because you really need to get all the way around that thing. Now it'll fly out, as you just seen. It's laying right here beside me. But after you get that out, then you need to take this electrical connector off right here. You push this button in and pull out. Okay, and then these two sides will pull out. These two clips. Okay, pull that up like that. And this piece right here will need to slide off. This whole piece right here will need to slide off. So you're gonna have to get this piece out of the way. Okay, that piece out of the way, and then pry up on that and get this piece up out of the way, and then you can pull this thing out. Now, I didn't have enough room to get this completely unplugged back there, so you might want to just wait till last and now just unplug it. And then you've got your solenoid out, and then it's simple to put back in. You just plug it back in, put your new one, not your old one, obviously. Put your new one, plug it back in, okay? Get this roughly in place here. Make sure you got your pin pointing up. Once again, got to get this stuff out of the way. You can hold it back with your thumb up here like I am, okay? And then this will come up freely. So you get this pin up underneath it, okay? You can go ahead and set this in while you do that. Okay, now spin that pin up and put your plastic piece, slide it right down over top of it. Okay, now you can see it actuating. Okay, and let go of that. And then if you've replaced yours, which I have not, I just put my old one back in to show you. But that's it. And then it'll work now because this piece will be actuated like this one is not. And then it'll come like that. So that's what happens with the actuator. It'll kick this thing out of the way and you'll be good. So there you go. Here's one that's got a new solenoid in it that operates properly. See how it just all moves like it's supposed to? So we're going to put this one in. I didn't replace the solenoid because I had another Xterras sitting right beside this one that's the parts Xterra. So I just went ahead and took the good one out. But I probably will, but I will order the solenoid and I'll put it in this one so that my other ones will still run and drive and move. Okay, you can see here, all I did is slide that rod back in past this, back in that hole. That locks it in. And then down here, you had to slide it out of that before. You got to slide it back in there. Okay. Right here, we'll plug the electrical connector back in. Got that plugged back in. And then we'll set the thing down in place on top of the studs that are sticking up. Okay, and then simply slide this back over top of it. Slide your pin back through to lock it back in. And that is it. Other than, of course, tightening down your 4 bolts around it. And you'll see now it works just fine. Now, one thing to keep in mind before you do any of this is your key has to be flipped over, and I don't guess your foot has to be on the brake, but in some cars and in newer models, your foot has to be on the brake.